Hey you guys, before I got into the video, I just wanted to talk briefly about my new ebook, Zodiac Signs Sex Language. Whether you're looking to improve your sex life and your dating life, or if you're just looking to expand your knowledge about astrology, this is definitely the right book for you. This book is meant to help you improve your sex life, your dating life, and your love life, your relationships, and to spice it up in the bedroom if need be, or to just once again help you learn more about astrology. So if you're interested in any of these things, if you're interested in learning about the different love languages and the different sex languages of the zodiac signs, definitely look into getting this book, Zodiac Signs Sex Language, written by me, edited by me, and designed by me, Lamarr Townsend. So you can purchase this ebook on my website, lamarrtownsendtarot.com, or you can purchase it on Amazon, on the Amazon Kindle ebook store, all right? Or just amazon.com. All right, into the video we go. Thank you for listening and watching. The first house in astrology. So the first house in astrology is ruled by the planet Mars, and the first house is also called the rising sign, which is also called the ascendant. They all mean the same thing: the first house, the rising sign, the ascendant. So the first house is your rising sign, and this is the house, once again, of self-image. So this is the image that we project out into the world. This is the first impressions that we make. This is how people perceive us, okay? This is also how we start things, okay? So let's start with the fire signs. First house in Aries. So Aries is ruled by Mars. So, naturally this is someone who's self-assertive. This is someone who is very passionate when they speak. They come off as very passionate. They come off as someone who you don't want to mess with typically. But this is also someone who comes off as very warm and loving and kind as well. This is someone who's very this is someone who takes initiative as well. They take initiative to start things, but to also finish them, because Mars is all about starting things, but also getting things done, knowing what you want and just going for it. So this is someone who's also brave and courageous as well. First house in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. So this is someone who's very adventurous. This is someone who you may never know what they're going to say. They're very funny. This is someone who is a bit unpredictable at times. This is someone who is also very intelligent, though, who has a higher learning, a higher perspective of things always, and is always optimistic, okay? This is also someone who, rising sign in Sagittarius, who is also very funny and witty, all right? Who has their own sense of style as well. They, may also be very lean, very in shape, or, they may just be very quick and fast-paced in the way they move, the way they speak, the way they come across. Very fast-paced, very, quick on their toes, witty kind of people, because, Sagittarius is just that kind of energy, but someone who's very intelligent, someone who's very up to speed on everything, but also has, very strong morals about them, and, maybe have a strong personal philosophy or religion that they, kind of abide by, by their lives by. So, alright, so rising sign, first house in Leo. Leo is ruled by the sun, so this could be someone who's very creative, very self-confident, very, they come across as someone who, is kind of the life of the party, someone who naturally draws attention to them. Naturally they don't necessarily have to be doing anything, but they're they're interesting to look at. They may draw attention to them. This is also someone who typically has good hair. Leos have good hair. Think of the lion's mane. This is also someone on the same frame of the lion, someone who's very brave and bold and courageous. So this is someone who says what other people are afraid to say. This is someone who's going to be straightforward with you. This is someone who isn't going to hold back. But this is also someone who's very social and friendly, and easy to get along with, and someone who's warm and welcoming to almost everyone. All right. So let's move on to the water signs. First house, rising sign in Scorpio. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto and Mars. So once again, here we have that Mars energy. Mars rules the first house. So, but Pluto rules, the subconscious, the deep dark truth. So this is someone who's very intense. Rising sign in Scorpio. First house in Scorpio. This is someone who comes across as very intense. This is someone who comes across as there's maybe something very dark or mysterious about them, all right, because Scorpios have a very alluring, dark, mysterious energy to them. You know, Scorpios can naturally be attracted to like the occult or dark things, so they may have a little bit of a dark aesthetic to them. They are typically very trustworthy. You know, rising sign and Scorpios are very trustworthy people. Excuse me, very trustworthy people. Who keep secrets. You know, Scorpios are the secret keepers of the Zodiac. You know, this is someone who is very selective of the people they choose to talk to and interact with and be associated with. This is someone who can be a little bit quiet at times and standoffish, but also someone who can be fun and can also, you know, be very talkative. So it really depends on who they're around. You know, this is someone who is also enigmatic, you know, someone who's very alluring, and someone who may have deep, penetrating eyes. You know, it's almost like they can look through your soul. All right, rising sign in Scorpio. All right, rising sign in Cancer. Rising sign in Cancer. You know, here we have that moon energy. Cancer is ruled by the moon, so someone who's very sensitive, very childlike at times. They may have a childlike demeanor to them. All right. They may at times appear childlike to other people, because remember, this is the house of perception. All right. You know, they start things with emotion, with gusto, because this is the planet of emotion, the zodiac sign of emotion and intuitiveness. So they're very intuitive. They act on their intuition. They typically know how people around them are feeling, even if those people don't voice how they're feeling, or, you know, don't necessarily know how they're feeling. Cancers are really emotionally intelligent. So this is someone who's very, very emotionally intelligent. All right, this is someone who has a sweetness quality about them. Very sweet, you know, very, very funny. You know, rising sign in Cancer, very self-depreciating can be, but also, you know, a sense of you know, a bit of at times insecurity and doubt can creep through. You know, so they may at times need reassurance, you know, that everything is going to be okay. But these are very strong and resilient people. You know, rising sign in Cancer is because they deal with the realm of emotion, and, you know, emotions, you know, to be able to control them and to be able to deal with them in the way that Cancers do takes a strong person. So very strong people. All right, rising first house in Pisces. Sorry, Pisces is ruled by Neptune and Jupiter. So once again, here we have that Jupiter kind of adventurous, explorative, you know, abiding by your own religious values or, you know, personal philosophies energy. And then we have Neptune, which is, you know, the planet of the metaphysical spirit world, things of that nature. So this is a very spiritual person. This is a person who's very creative, okay, because Pisces are very creative people. Their creativity comes from the ethereal, like, you know, otherworldly places. So this is someone who is very otherworldly. This is also someone who connects on a soul level with other people, so they may be easily able to make friends of all different, you know, backgrounds and cultures and races, you know, and not be a problem for them. You know, love is love, you know, everyone's a soul, you know, those types of people, you know, very sympathetic, very compassionate people, you know, because Jupiter is all about, you know, being tolerant of other people and accepting other people and their ideologies and beliefs, even if we don't necessarily believe those beliefs, right? So we all have our own paths, and Pisces know that. So I almost said Sag, but, you know, they have Jupiter in common, so it makes sense. Let's move on to the air sign. So let's do a rising sign, first house in Gemini. So first house in Gemini. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. So this is someone who's very communicative, loves to talk, okay? Because Mercury loves to talk. Mercury is the planet of communication and intellect, the intelligence, the mind. So this is someone who's also very smart, very intelligent, knows a lot about a lot, all right? This is someone who likes to read, likes to research, you know. This is someone who is always has a new plan of action, you know, a new goal that they want to reach, that they may not know necessarily how to reach, and this is why they kind of, you know, get people around them, you know, to kind of help brainstorm. These are the people that like to brainstorm and throw ideas around and bounce ideas off and hear other people's opinion. You know, communication is important and big for this person. Can also have childlike aspects to them. You know, they may have a baby face, you know, they may have childlike eyes to them, you know, they may have a wondrous kind of childlike soul, spirit to them, because Mercury is a very kind of childlike, youthful spirit. So they may be a very youthful person no matter their age, okay? First house in Gemini, which makes them very attractive, actually. So alright, so rising sign, sorry for smacking, rising sign, first house in Aquarius. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus and Saturn. So Uranus rules technology, innovation, not doing the tried and true traditional thing. Now, it's interesting because Saturn rules tradition. All right, Saturn likes tradition. Saturn likes routine. So this is someone who may have a certain dichotomy in their life, because they can have this dichotomy of wanting to do things their own way, wanting to do the unconventional, but then also doing things the traditional and abiding by the traditional law. Like, they always kind of in that space, but they were also ironically work really well in that space, so they can work really well in traditional jobs, traditional careers, but do things in their own kind of unconventional way. Like Aquarius work really well in that realm. So this is someone who can be unconventional, hard to figure out at times, like very optimistic. This is someone who can be a little bit quirky, a little bit eccentric, all right, but they own it, which makes them very attractive. This is someone who can be a bit detached emotionally, all right. This is someone who is very logical, very smart, super duper intelligent. These are like the mad scientists. Aquarius is like the mad scientist of the Zodiac. So this is like the genius kind of level, kind of intellect. This is someone who sees things before they happen, sees things before other people can see them, but very wise, very unconventional soul who can be attracted to unconventional things, unconventional people. They can also have an unconventional look about them, whether their features are unconventional or something about them is unconventional, outside of the norm, or what is considered the norm, right? Because this is Uranus rules our sense of individualism, our sense of self within the society, within the collective, so once again, these are the individualists. These are the kind of people who kind of do their own thing, kind of have their own style, have their own way of doing things, and they don't always follow the same path of the crowd. So rising sign in Libra. So, excuse me, rising sign in Libra. It's spring, so pollen and all that nonsense. Anyways, rising sign in Libra are the types of people who, well, first of all, Libra's ruled by Venus. So Venus is all about harmony, beauty, friendship, bond building. So this is someone who is definitely into their looks a little bit, okay? This is someone who can be a bit vain. This is someone who, once again, can be into their looks. So they may be very into their skin. For example, Libras really have good skin, or they may have really good hair. The way they dress can be really, on point. They put a lot of detail into aesthetic, because once again, Venus is beauty, and all of that, those types of things, aesthetic. So lots of detail into their aesthetic. Very peaceful, very easy to get along with, very chill. Can get along with all types of people. Always find a commonality with someone. This is someone who is easily able to bridge the gaps. This is someone who's easily able to make connections that other people aren't able to make. This is someone who is a good detective. This is someone who is also good with words, very charming. This is someone who typically has a baby face, or typically has, once again, a very childlike features. Libras, something about them always stays preserved, intact, can never be tarnished. Something about, whether it's their looks, whether, they put a lot of emphasis on their looks, or their spirit, the aesthetic. Something about them typically can never be tarnished, can never be, really messed with. Something about them always kind of stays balanced. That's a really, really good word, balanced. Okay, so balanced people, very balanced people. My moon's in Libra, so. Alright, anyway. So, let's move on to the earth signs, okay? Alright, so rising sign, first house in Capricorn. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, so this is someone, Saturn is all about hard work, work ethic, self-discipline, getting the job done, no excuses. Alright, this also rules the past, karma, debt, weight, illness. So this is someone who's very serious, very ambitious. This is someone who, once again, doesn't follow the crowd, isn't easily swayed, alright, by other people's opinion or by the public. This is someone who marches to the beat of their own drum, relentlessly, works towards their own goals and aspirations in life. This is, someone who is typically a really, really good employee, especially if they love what they do and if what they do benefits them well, pays them well in some way or form. This is someone who's very busy, typically with their own life, doing their own thing, seeking to improve. Self-improvement's really big with Capricorns, rising sign in Capricorns. This is someone who always seems to have it together, whether they actually have it together or not. This is someone who always seems to have it together. This is someone who, even on their worst days, they always come back strong. They always come back stronger. This is someone who can be a bit pessimistic, prone to pessimism, prone to comparing themselves to others. It's just the Capricorn way. I'm a Capricorn. But this is also someone who is very strong and dedicated and ambitious, and makes a good businesswoman or businessman. All right, so next, let's move on to rising sign, first house in Taurus. So first house in Taurus. Taurus is ruled by Venus. And like I was saying, Venus is the planet of friendship, beauty, romance, harmony, passion, things of that nature. So first house in Taurus is someone who is very romantic, very dedicated, can be stubborn, all right? But they can also be a bit materialistic too, actually, because Venus rules materialism. But they put a lot of emphasis into their looks. They put a lot of emphasis into working towards their goals and their social status, and working towards stability, working towards security. All right, Tauruses like to have fun too, so don't get it twisted. This isn't someone who is all about all work and no play, but sometimes Tauruses can go too far to the left, too far to the right with work and play. That's something I also notice about Taurus. But nonetheless, this is someone who typically they are very attractive no matter what they look like, no matter their body size, no matter what they look like. Tauruses are very attractive. They typically have very attractive faces, very attractive eyes. There's something about them, their swag, their ambition, something always very attractive about the Taurus. And it's also that innate romantic side of them that they have, that innate kind of ability to, make any situation beautiful, kind of, charming side of them that makes them also attractive. So this is someone who is a hard worker. Can be, a bit standoffish, reserved, shy at times. But, when they feel comfortable, when they're with a group of people that they know and love, this is really someone who can, really motivate and inspire, actually, and kind of put things into perspective, and help people to be more realistic. But also teach people how to love themselves and the importance of nurturing yourself, right? So that's great. All right, my rising sign. Wow, the best for last. Interesting, I love it. So first house, aka rising sign in Virgo. So Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury rules communication, intellect, the mind. Okay, so this is someone who's very smart. All right, they have a lot of wisdom and knowledge stored within them that they don't always express outside of them. All right, this is because Virgo is an earth sign, and earth signs are very practical. Now, the thing about Virgos is that rising sign in Virgos, first house in Virgos, is that this is someone that people feel that they can trust, that they can go to for advice. Typically, this is someone that people trustworthiness, is just a really, really big word that comes to me for rising sign in Virgo. Like, this is someone that you can trust to be consistent. This is someone that you can trust, especially if you already have a working relationship with a rising sign in Virgo. This is someone that you can trust to, hey, take my credit card and go get this, and actually you can trust them and go about your day and not worry. You actually forget that you even gave your credit card to them until they come back and like, hey, here's your credit card, here's the receipt, blah blah blah, like they're those kind of people who give you the receipt, who give you your credit card back, who give you exactly what you want and don't spend, like they're the people you can trust. All right, they're the people who are consistent. They're the people who are very hard workers. They're smart with their money. All right, they are people who naturally attract money to them because they're hard workers. They're an earth sign. They're practical. But this is also sorry for smacking. I keep doing that. This is also someone who is very ambitious, very seeks to inspire others, but also seeks inspiration. All right, and they can have an intricate source of inspiration that's unique to them. You know, rising sign in Virgo. Rising sign in Virgo is someone who doesn't easily reveal their sources, who doesn't easily reveal their secrets. So if they do reveal their secrets or their sources to you, that means that they trust you. All right. This is someone who wants to help build other people up. This is someone who, once again, typically because of that Mercury energy, they have a youthful appearance about them. They may have a baby face. They, you know, rising sign and Virgos tend to be very health conscious. I know this as well. Virgos tend to be very, very health conscious, very, sometimes obsessed with health. Like, so, you know, this is someone whose weight actually may go up and down, but their instincts in terms of their body is what keeps them balanced from going too far to the left, too far to the right. They're very instinctual people, rising sign in Virgos. And typically up and downness in a Virgo's life, whether you notice it externally or not, denotes an emotional issue. All right, this is, you know, someone who can sometimes have difficulty with emotions. All right, earth signs have that issue sometimes. They're practical people. They don't deal in the realm of emotions like, you know, water signs or fire signs do. So it's learning how to deal with those emotions. So, you know, the best productive way to deal with those emotions. But, you know, I'm getting too deep into this, probably because it's my rising sign. But with that being said, these are the rising signs. This is just a little bit about the first house, okay, and the rising signs and what they mean in a birth chart and in astrology. So if you would like to know what your rising sign is, what your first house is, please check out my website, LamarrTownsendTarot.com, where you can purchase your own birth chart reading. I also do compatibility birth chart readings and love compatibility, love synastry birth chart readings. So if you would like your own individual birth chart reading, compatibility birth chart reading, just a regular compatibility birth chart reading, or a love synastry birth chart reading where I focus on the love aspects of a birth chart, check all of those out on my website, LamarrTownsendTarot.com. As you can see, I love talking about astrology and birth charts, so I would love to read for you. With that being said, namaste, love, and light. Check out the rest of my services on my website. All right, I do tarot readings from your messages from your spirit guides, readings from your spirit guides, and more. Okay. Also, check out my ebook, Zodiac Science, Sex Language, available now on Amazon and on my website. Okay. Namaste, love, and light. Thank you for listening and watching, and thank you for choosing me. Okay. Hey guys, thank you for listening and watching. Please hit the like button, share with your friends and your family, and also please subscribe, of course. And if you're interested in my ebook, check out my ebook, purchase it on my website or on Amazon. I would also love it if you would follow me on my social media, Facebook and Instagram. Until next time, thank you guys for listening and watching, and I'll catch you in the next video, alright?